So in this unit, we're going to start learning about life and the requirements for life. So the first thing we have to look at is what you need in order to have a planet or celestial body with the setup, the initial ingredients that allow life to form. And the very first thing you're going to need are what are called precursor compounds or organic compounds. So all life on Earth is based on complex carbon compounds. These are formed from things called amino acids and proteins. Carbon is chemically unique in its ability to form large, complex molecules. And so all life on Earth is what's called carbon-based, which means that the carbon is what makes up the bulk of the organic compounds. In fact, an organic compound is defined as one that's carbon-based. Other elements can make similar bonds, but they're far less stable and can't make as complex molecules. The molecules they make have to be much smaller. So they're unlikely to be able to support any kind of complex life. Even things that aren't strictly considered living, like viruses, would have a hard time being formed out of anything other than carbon compounds. The good news is that astronomical surveys have shown these types of organic compounds in protoplanetary nebula, those nebula that stars and planets form from. Uh, and so these are plentiful throughout the universe. In fact, carbon and oxygen are some of the most common elements found in the universe. So if you look at what life's made of, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, so nitrogen, those are among the most common elements in the entire universe, which is good news if you are interested in finding life throughout our universe. The second thing you need is liquid water. Here on Earth, everywhere we've found liquid water, we've found life. Liquid water is a solvent. Solvents allow chemicals to break down. They also allow chemical reactions to occur. Water is a very good solvent. In fact, it's called the universal solvent. And it has some unique properties that make it very conducive as a solvent for the chemical processes that life uses. Another great thing about water is that it's liquid for a very large temperature range and at relatively high temperatures. Other similar compounds are liquid at much lower temperatures than water, and therefore are less conducive to chemical reactions because the rate of chemical reaction is greatly influenced by the temperature. And the third thing that life needs is some sort of energy source. Living organisms have to get their energy from something, either the sun, chemical reactions, geothermal vents, or any other heat source. Up until the late 1980s, early 1990s, we thought that all life on Earth got its energy either directly or indirectly from the sun. And then we found these pictured black smokers, which are vents at the bottom of the ocean. And around those, we found entire ecosystems where all the energy was derived from these geothermal sources. Since then, we've also found life forming around things like salt pools and other places where no energy is derived from the sun. So it's kind of neat that we can find life in places that the sun can't reach. So we've got the precursors for life. You need organic compounds, an energy source, and some liquid water. Well, is that enough? How do we get life? The process of getting living things from non-living things is called abiogenesis. And on the screen, what we've got is a picture of the Miller-Urey experiment.